Yeah, you do need to know Santa Clarita. There's one for Doug. All right, you're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. Doug is not in. We have our special guest host today, Chris Burke. Chris,
how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Always fun to be back.
It is. It's always good to have you here because there's always a lot of cool stuff we can talk to you about. But I wanted to start off by talking about Jeb Bush, Donald Trump, this whole political thing.
Whoa, wait a minute. Come on, give me a break. Doug's not here. We don't need to talk about politics.
Oh, you're right. We could talk about fun stuff.
We can talk about fun stuff.
That's right.
Who wants to go there?
This is nice, relaxing radio.
Yeah.
So how's your summer been? You got big plans going on?
A lot of plans, vacation.
Somewhere good?
A lot of good stuff going on.
Where are you on vacation?
Well, we got a few different places in mind. Haven't any set plans yet. We got a few things.
Jost Van Dyke. I'm just saying, Tortola, the British Virgin Islands. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
I don't get paid for that, but
it won't be Miami.
It won't be Miami.
It won't be where you go.
No, well, you're not allowed to go where I'm going to go. That's a whole other issue. So, good tours, good music coming out this summer.
We got a lot of good music coming out. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, we do. We had a lot of good tours coming up.
Let's talk about it now.
You want to talk about it now?
Why not?
Well,
we got nothing else going on. Doug's not here. We don't talk about politics unless we really want to.
Well, we had a hell of a Foo Fighters tour planned until Mr. Grohl had a little. You heard about that?
Question: is he gonna be better by the Love Ride? October?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Okay, good.
Yes, because I got a date with him in September, and he has a whole tour on the West Coast in September.
You were the first person I thought of, and I forgot to call you and ask that because
that's going to happen. I don't want to say for sure about the Love Ride because I don't know the conversations. I haven't been involved with that.
Well, let me know because I routinely volunteer for the Love Ride. It'll be my second or third year. It's a blast.
Awesome. It is a blast. I've done it once, but it's going to be really cool if they end up doing this.
Oh yeah,
and I think they're looking to do it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That's going to be fun. Just a lot of tours. We got Aloe Black going out. If you know who Aloe is, he's building a big name for himself.
Yeah.
Great guy. As a matter of fact, fun story. Had him the other day at a private show, and the buyer went back to him after the show and said, Aloe, I'm sorry to bother you, but listen, my client is asking for 15 more minutes, and we'll give you another $15,000.
Right then and there on the spot?
He goes, I tell you, I don't have the money with me, but I will get it to your agent, and I will take care of it. And Aloe says, and I love this story, I'd love to. I'll be out there. You go ahead and take that $15,000 and send it to charity.
Oh.
And that's the kind of guy he is. You're going to hear a lot more about him coming up.
That's pretty cool because
awesome.
that's not... I mean, I imagine that's probably, you see that typical side, but from our side, it's our viewpoint, the fans' viewpoint.
We don't see it enough either. We don't see it enough either, which is why I'm spreading the word because he's a smart guy. He was part of the TED Talks. He's just a really bright guy, and he's really rising up the charts. So.
Do they do... once again, you complained earlier that I asked you questions that I don't really ask you, or I tell you I'm going to ask you. But what percentage of these guys do private shows versus normal concerts?
Well, more and more. I
really?
mean, and it's great when we can get somebody like Aloe, more contemporary acts doing these. In the old days, it used to be and I love him, he's a friend, Neil Sedaka, Johnny Mathis.
Right.
These guys used to do it. Glenn Campbell, they used to be asked for it.
Right.
And corporate in the old days was kind of like equivalent to Vegas, kind of at the end of your career.
Right.
Well, there's no way that Vegas means that anymore. Look at the people that are performing there, and corporate doesn't either. The only difference with corporate, and we have part of our job is educating the artists and letting them know what it's all about and what to expect.
Right.
But the problem nowadays is it used to be really private. You could be in the ballroom at the Ritz-Carlton. You could be in a ballroom anywhere.
Right.
And nobody would know you're there. Social media.
Yeah,
everybody knows. Somebody tweets. The guy gets a haircut before the show, and everybody knows. So we got to be a lot more careful, and we are careful about how we police.
Got to be a lot more security.
Yeah, and there's also more things in writing in terms of if this gets out before a certain time, penalty. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's changed a lot in the last 35 years. This October for me, 35 years at the same place, same job.
So you started when you were 6.
Started when I was 5.
5. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
Do I get money for that? For saying something nice?
I'll do it later. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
That was in that rider that I signed, right?
That's right.
Every nice thing I say.
By the way, none of the food I gave you is here.
Yeah, I know. You didn't get
you're right now. You're in breach of contract.
Breach of contract.
Yeah.
We didn't get you the brown M&Ms because the other ones have too much color.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right. We don't need to air our dirty laundry.
All right. So who else is touring this summer that you're going to go see?
That I'm going to go see. Well, I just saw, believe it or not, Neil Diamond.
And
it was fantastic.
Gotta tell you,
it was fantastic. The guy had 2 hours of hit after hit. He's 77 years old. made a joke about one of the girls still clawing at him in the front row, and he thought that was. He goes, "Boy, it just makes me feel like I was 65 again." So he makes fun of himself, and he's just a fantastic performer.
I got to tell you, I saw him in the 80s, and I was working security / public relations /
80s
liaison. It was a long time ago.
That's Hot August Night.
It was Hot August Nights, and it was one of the most arrogant individuals, management teams I've ever dealt with.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, you're only Neil Diamond.
Something else we should talk about prior to the show, John, is not dissing my artists.
Well,
that would probably be a good idea.
That is a good one. No, but I'm sure now with a different management team, it's changed remarkably.
That's right. Now that we're in
because
charge.
all I've heard is great things about him.
He really
that's
is.
what's
He really
that's
great.
why I wasn't saying I don't like him.
We don't need to talk about the personal side of my artists. We just want to talk about how they appear on stage.
No, I didn't meet him. I dealt with the management team behind the sets, and it was like
totally
I'm
different
the star.
in those days.
And it was like you're only I was what. 1980s. God knows how old I was, but I was sitting there going, I don't even know who you are. You're just Neil Diamond. Big deal.
Look at the era. It's all about a different timing, and these people these days, they've been doing it forever, and they really do have a different attitude for the most part than some of these young and up and coming guys that think they're God's gift to everything, and that's why I point out Aloe, who is young and up and coming, and not that way. And those people kind of shine through. They really do, even for us.
Yeah. So what other artists do you have that I could insult? Because I'm sure we'll be here all day.
That's good. Lady Gaga. Doing some dates.
I was disappointed because I wanted to see her with Tony, and I didn't. And it was your recommendation, and I'm still kicking myself.
It was a good show.
I've heard great things about it.
It was a great show. She is really something special. She is something that I think the public needs to get a better grip on, and I think she's starting to show herself in a different light. So, like, my mom now wants to go see Lady Gaga, where she never would have thought of that.
That's cool.
And especially with Tony Bennett, who my mom would always want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that man is 89, by the way. 89 on August 3rd, and doesn't miss a show. Doesn't skip a beat.
That's ridiculous.
Unreal.
All right, we got more when we come back because this is a kinder, gentler show today. We don't have to get upset.
It usually is when I'm here.
It is. Why is Doug here again? I mean, it's always so angst-filled.
I think it's because his name is part of the show.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. All right, you're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour with John and Chris on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We'll be right back. All right, we are back with the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station with our special guest, Chris. That's just too long of an intro.
Can't we just replace my name with Doug today? Do we have to
That would be
Doug?
The Chris and John show. That doesn't have a really good ring to it.
John and Chris? I'm fine with John and Chris.
John and Chris works. All right. You're listening to the John and Chris show on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're affiliated with the Gazette Radio Hour that used to fill this spot. That's better.
That's good.
Okay. All right, we can work on that. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Everybody knows what a beautiful performing arts center we have here in Santa Clarita. It's with part of College of the Canyons. And it really is terrific. They've been booking some great acts, and it's a wonderful place. I think probably 6, 7, 8 years ago, something like that, that they built that, and it was so sorely needed by Santa Clarita, and giving us an opportunity to see such terrific artists. There is a place, and I've talked about it a lot when I call in and we talk about what shows are coming up, and we talk how beautiful the Orange County Performing Arts Center, and our guest today is Aaron Agigian. And Aaron, you're going to give me your real title, but I know you primarily, first of all, as a friend, and second of all, as the buyer of entertainment for the Performing Arts Center.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it very much. I'm the Senior Director of Music Programming here at the center. We were for many years the Orange County Performing Arts Center, but a few years ago we were renamed to the Segerstrom Center for the Arts.
Well, that explains your website that I couldn't find. Performing Arts, Orange County Performing Arts Center today. Okay.
And we've been here, we're starting our 29th season, and we opened up back in 1986. In what was a former lima bean field in Costa Mesa,
right.
close to South Coast Plaza. So a great deal has happened down here in almost 30 years, and I think the center has been a really sort of significant part of what this community has become.
Now, at that time, it was just the center, right? There wasn't the other buildings around that, is that right?
There was only one building. It was the South Coast Repertory Theater, which was sitting on one corner of the site, but the rest of the site was open. And it was the design of Henry Segerstrom and the Segerstrom family that this several acres worth of land should become a kind of a town center in many ways for Southern Orange County. And they felt the arts were very much needed and could be a really sort of a powerful generating force for the future of Orange County.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem with our center is it's affiliated with the College of the Canyons campus.
And it's a beautiful room.
It's a beautiful room, but there's not the additional infrastructure, or I guess, infrastructure.
Yeah.
The restaurants and the shops and the town center aspect that you guys have, which is just amazing.
And they have beautiful park-like surroundings and valet parking and the whole bit. It's really, really beautiful. How long have you been there, Aaron?
I have been here since the beginning.
Wow.
I joined in early 1986, and I came from the Los Angeles Music Center, where I worked with Bobby Fryer and Gordon Davidson at Center Theater Group for about 11 years.
Boy, I have to start treating you with more respect.
Oh, let's not change anything.
I was going to say we can probably arrange that, Aaron. So, Aaron, let me ask you a question as a buyer, because I'm obviously the one person in this conversation that's not in the business. But it always struck me as you got to have a really difficult job, because you got people like Chris coming up to you saying buy this artist, this artist, this artist. How do you pick and choose? Because if it were me, it'd be like people I like.
Well, not everything I like will sell tickets, and not everything I like is what everything could be what you like.
That's a good point.
So the job of programming a center is to sort of, fortunately, my tastes are rather broad. I love everything from classical to jazz to rock and anything in between. It's all pretty exciting and good stuff to me. So I try to find out where my audience is, and I'll tell you, in about 28 years of doing this, the audiences here went from just sort of we call them the household kitchen names, the absolutely everybody knows this person, to really expanding out in sampling all kinds of different artists and shows that come through here. I think the main thing that drives this place is all the Broadway shows that come through town, and we do a significant number of those in our largest theater, which is a 3,000-seat opera house style house with an orchestra pit and full stage house and all the sort of production facilities that are necessary to put on these big shows. Wow. We also have an 1,800-seat concert hall, which is just about 9 years old, and it's a gorgeous place with a stunning acoustic where all of our touring orchestras and our local symphony orchestra play their concerts. And then we have a great sort of smaller room. It's called the Samueli Theater. We do jazz concerts in there, chamber music. All of our family programming goes into that spot.
Kind of more intimate stuff.
Yeah, so we've got wonderful facilities. Plus, we've got a great sort of plaza where people gather to watch movies during the summer, for free on Monday evenings, and so we're trying to be as responsive to our community as we possibly can.
So let me ask you a quick question. You and I have had, we recently were together at the Frank Sinatra Jr. show with a retrospective of his father, which was fantastic. We have Diana Krall coming in December, so we're short on time, but if you could run down the few highlights coming up that we should all know about.
That would be great.
Well, we're running the show Motown, which is just rocking the house every night. We've got Dancing with the Stars coming up on a sold-out tour, Phantom of the Opera. We've got big ballet companies coming in. We have The Lion King, The Book of Mormon, Wicked. Gosh. We've got a ton of stuff.
Okay, I'll be calling you for some tickets, but we can do that off the air. Hey, did I see the Herb Albert's coming in, or did he?
Herbert's been here a couple of times so far. He's coming in with the Symphony Pop series. And in the fall, in October, we'll have a big Latin jazz weekend with Buena Vista Social Club on their Adios tour.
Oh, my gosh.
And Pancho Sanchez and Eddie Palmieri and Ramsey Lewis and Sergio Mendez all packed into one sort of jazz festival weekend, which is going to be great fun.
That's awesome.
Hey, Aaron, real quick, where can people get information about this on the web, I'm sure?
Go to our website, which is scfta.org. That's Segerstrom Center for the Arts.org. Or call 714-556-2787 and to get all kinds of ticket information and other information.
That sounds great.
Aaron, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you being a part of this today.
I am very happy to have done it, and thank you so much, and all the best to both of you.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Appreciate
Aaron.
it. And not only can you call in for tickets, but I'm calling you for tickets.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you're going to call the number.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the number you're calling.
I'm calling you.
661.
Yeah, and Chris's number for tickets will be, we're doing a giveaway. We'll give away Chris's number to the third caller. Yeah, that's going to go over well. All right, you're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS. Special guest Chris. We'll be right back.